popcorn buckets. They used to be an occasion. Now it's an expectation. I don't like that.
They're not anymore, and I can agree with that. And you are now joining us for the grown-ups table. What's up, everybody?
Hey!
Thing today. I was doing like a trick-or-treat surprise because it's spooktacular. I was trying to see like, oh, let's do this nonchalant kind of walking into the show. But anyways, I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella. My wife, Spooky, the bride of Pimpy, and then my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
Thank you so much, and a happy Tuesday to everybody. Right now, we snuck up on you guys. That's what I wanted to do. Because we're doing Stephen King adaptations, the good, the bad, the ugly, the weird, really. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. Sarah, I know we have the Stephen King blanket.
Yeah, I moved it.
We moved it? Oh, for aesthetic purposes. But we're going to be talking about all the good movies and all that stuff. We're going to be talking about what makes a good adaptation versus what makes a bad adaptation. And then what makes that adaptation where you're like, I didn't know this was a thing, and now it is a thing, and we just experience it.
And which stories that you could obviously tell Stephen King was in a coke phase.
Oh, yeah. Anytime we talk about Stephen King books, we're like, coke phase or no coke phase?
Yeah, this was the cocaine years, for sure.
Yes.
You know, his cocaine books are better.
I agree. I like the earlier shit. I haven't read a Stephen King book that's like 25 years old or newer. Like,
Sarah's been sending him fan letters to Relapse.
No,
start getting on the blow again. It was just things were better. Just go back on it.
No,
you haven't written anything that great.
Right. We need another it. Come on, do some blow. Let's get this written. Come on.
Okay, with the exception of Holly, which I just bought it. I haven't read it yet. I have read his most recent books from maybe like the past like 10-ish years. They're shit. The man, he's trying, but they're not good. And specifically, Outsiders and The Institute sucked.
The best part about this review is, because then Sarah has now gotten on Joe Hill, which is the son of Stephen King.
So much better.
But every time she starts talking about like how good he is, I just keep thinking that line from Step Brothers. So I had the bull, but now I can have the calf.
No. But the thing is, Stephen King has two sons that he wrote 2 books with. Owen King, that book he wrote with Stephen King, what the fuck is it called? Sleeping Beauties.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks. So bad.
I wish I could read. That'd be awesome.
Like, it's horrible. And then you read Nosferatu, which is Joe Hill, and it actually connects with, is it Institute?
It connects with Dr. Sleep.
Connects with Dr. Sleep. And it's so good. And it just goes to show you the son that changed his name to like not capitalize on the Stephen King shit. Sure. So much better.
But ironically, he looks the most like Stephen King.
Oh, he does.
Which is, pull a picture out. Have you ever seen what Joe Hill looks like?
Here he is.
Google a picture of Stephen King when he was 20, and that's him.
Good God, man.
Yeah.
This picture right fucking here. Holy shit.
Isn't that scary? It's like if he time traveled and also became his own son.
Yeah.
It's like candy.
A for effort for changing his name, but
dude, maybe cocaine made his semen like amazing and like we're gonna take some of the traits. We're gonna take all the traits.
No, because his wife is a good writer. One of the sons is a good writer, but the other son is not.
Yeah. Okay. You got
Look at this.
No, pull the beard picture up.
What the fuck?
Pull the beard picture up.
Yeah, sure. But this one, I think this is better, to be honest. Like, yeah, I get the beard. Yeah. But this, the glasses, the eyes, and the hair, like the lip, like this is it right here.
Yeah.
That's the picture.
Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about Stephen King. And John, you and I, movie watcher, Sarah, movie watcher, and also
the only one that
book reading. What do you think has made him such an influence on pop culture and horror? Like, how do you think he changed the game since he came onto the scene?
So I think it was just the stories, and you got to understand when Stephen King films started to come out. This is when we're like coming out of Star Wars. We're coming out of Superman. We've had Indiana Jones. We have changed cinema because cinema was boring. Cinema was like cop stories, but they were like not even. I mean, look, other than like okay, like Charles Bronson, yeah, fine, Clint Eastwood, yeah, fine, but some of the other ones, you're just like, this is all we're getting, or we're getting like love stories or Towering Inferno, like we're not getting quality films. And I think once Stephen King started to get adapted, people realized this guy's onto something. He's writing these crazy horror supernatural stories that have these insane ass endings that you will never see coming if you've never read the book before. There's no movie for it yet.
Yeah.
And I think that they just realized that these stories can be adapted to film. And I'm okay with that because we have gotten some really good films that are sometimes more or less based on the book or, short story or whatever it is that was adapted. And I think people
why she's doing this is because I found a list of all the adaptations.
They suck.
And here's the funny part. I thought there were more good ones. There is secretly more bad ones.
Dude, yeah, I was just looking at like a top. I was looking at a top 15 of the worst. But anyway, back to my point. Before we drift on this, I want to get back to my point. So people liked that back then. These were new stories. This wasn't just Halloween, right? There was more to it. And I think people found that was interesting. I also feel like there is anybody who's read Stephen King, even if you've only read one book, or if you're like Sarah and you've read them all, there is a degree of uncomfortability with things that he puts in his books or the way he writes about things. And I think overall, most people like that because, again, that was different from what we had at that time when his writings were starting to really become adapted. And I think people just weren't ready for that. And when it happened, and they're just like, my God, this is new. This is different. This isn't playing it safe. These different things happen. This fucked up shit happens, like this and that. And I think people started to like trust that, and they started to like that. But what happened is that filmmakers got a hold of it and said, and then maybe you get a good one. You're like, oh, dude, that was great. And then maybe you get a stinker and you're just like, that wasn't so good. Maybe I don't like Stephen King. So it's weird because I think people look at Stephen King two different ways. They look at him as an author, but I think they look at him as like film as well, even though he's not writing word for word the screenplays, he's not directing every scene, he's not casting. But I think and especially now, people look at him both ways. They look at him as the author, but I think there's a degree of what people look at him as a filmmaker, even though he's not a filmmaker per se. So I think it's a long-winded answer, but I think it's just all of those things combined.
I mean, with the Dollar Baby project that he does, I mean, that very much makes him a filmmaker right there.
Yeah, but he doesn't really do shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, would you? If you'd written hundreds of books, you had all this money and notoriety, I wouldn't be doing shit either. I'd be like,
I would be doing blow.
I'm good. I can just hang out now. I'm good.
I would just sit on my stacks and stacks of money and just fucking release a new cover of the staple books every 5 months to get more revenue.
I mean, technically, he wrote Joe Hill's books. On a molecule level.
No, just the one.
Because no, I mean because he produced Joe.
Well, he also produced Owen King.
Well, that's
and Owen King sucks ass.
Well, that's true. But anyways, let's talk about some of the movies. So let's talk about some of the good films.
First off.
Okay.
John, do you like Dr. Sleeper? Or are we gonna have a fight?
Oh, Jesus
Didn't
Christ.
even watch it.
You haven't
So I got a whole thing. I got a whole thing prepared when we get to it about how I feel about Stephen King now.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair. All right. Well, I kind of want to get to that now. I kind of want to know what the Dr. Sleep thing is now.
I'm not trying to fuck up our flow, man. If we got a better spot to fit it in.
Well, here, we'll warm up with a few things.
I don't know if
this
you
is
guys
not too much of a horror story, but we'll talk about Shawshank Redemption. This movie,
one of my absolute favorite films of all time to ever exist.
It's okay.
It's
I didn't like the short story either. In all fairness.
she's like, they used the wrong poster. I bet that's what it was.
I didn't read it. I've never read it. I've only watched the film, and it's in my top, like, forever top favorite films.
It's a good movie, but the short story, it's not that good.
Well, I think what makes this movie so good is it was directed by Frank Darabont, who is known for directing really good adaptations of Stephen King.
What else did he do?
I can't give that away because that's going to be part of our next trivia question.
Okay.
We have trivia in this
Why do we have to have fucking
we
trivia?
need trivia. Anyways,
Jesse loves trivia.
Okay, fine. Let's do the trivia so that we can answer that question.
This is why I don't podcast
Okay.
with you.
Which adaptation was directed by Frank Darabont, who was also known for Shawshank and Green Mile?
What, do you do Dolores Claiborne or something?
No.
Okay, I don't fucking know.
It's a good adaptation. But it's a gem. It's a gem. This one is like
what?
When you think Stephen King movies, this is one you never think of, but it has
better not be some like Tommy Knockers or
No.
We tried to watch Tommy Knockers last night.
It's unwatchable.
No, it's not streaming anywhere.
Roku doesn't want to show it.
I watched it like the last time I watched it was when I was recovering from back surgery in 2009, and it happened to be on one of the like DVR channels my parents had. So I finally told my buddy, who's a huge Stephen King fan, hey, since I'm laid up and I'm on all this medication, I'm gonna watch Tommy Knockers. He was like, don't do it, it's terrible. I'm like, no, I've always wanted to watch it. He's like, don't do it. I'm like, no. Like, I wanted to go to the theater, never got to see it. I'm watching it. He's like, you're a fool. And so I watched it. I immediately texted him. I was like, what was this bullshit? I just wasted 3 hours. Yeah. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just like, what? Like, I knew what? Like the aliens, like, okay. And then everybody's blown up and died. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever.
Yeah, that is the one Stephen King book I will never buy.
Anyways, the answer to this question is not Tommy Knockers. It's The Mist.
What?
Are there two Mists?
No.
There's just one.
There is a Mist film and there is a Mist series.
That's
two different ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
the
movie's amazing. The movie was so good. The ending that
absolutely
it
because
was really good. It hurt.
Like, here's the thing. That ending was written for the movie, and Stephen King wanted to adapt it into his books.
I mean, it's honestly one of the best endings in all of cinema. Like, I'm gonna throw that out there because again, it's what we talked about early: the uncomfortableness, the facing of the fact that you're gonna kill these people that you love the most, so that they don't suffer, and then you're gonna go take one for the team, and lo and behold, rescue is coming. And you just murdered all the people you loved. Your wife was already dead. The neighbor's already dead. The crazy Christian lady's dead. You're literally the last guy left.
Character. I loved her.
Dude, got her fucking head shot in because she would not stop.
Dude, Stephen King knows how to write crazy Christian women.
I think he secretly is a crazy Christian woman because there's almost like every fucking book now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's from his upbringing. You can tell a lot of his books come from his upbringing. Like, I've read.
I mean, we know this. It's in Maine. There's supernaturalisms. There's poverty, right? Like, there's all the check boxes for a good story. You know,
bunch of poor ghosts. That's what it all is.
Or there's a camaraderie between people or something. You know, it's like it's always these check boxes, but it's about how he spun those check boxes that made things interesting. Like in The Mist, it goes one way and then bam, just completely left field, and you're like, what? Like, you have no idea what's going on.
What's one of your favorite Stephen King movies?
Who, me?
Yeah.
All right, so it used to be The Shining. Here's what I gotta say. I'm getting burnout on Stephen King because I feel like we've oversaturated this man. I understand that he has hundreds of pieces of work that are fantastic. And when living in an age where it seems like creativity is put on the side to make room for comfortable cash cowing, it is nice to have stories like his. But I feel like it's like a 10 for 1, or 90-10 rule.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Like
I see.
90% of what we get, we're just like, I'm tired of this. And then that one that you get, you're like, there it is. There's the gem. But you had to sit through 10 Tommy knockers to get to it.
Fucking Blumhouse. I fucking hate Blumhouse. But that's
Dude, Blumhouse, A24, I'm out on both. I can't stand either one of them.
A24, so shut your mouth. A24 is good.
No, they're done. They're done. They're done just like Blumhouse.
Fuck you.
Hereditary, terrible.
They're producing some like really good female rage movies, and it just makes my heart happy. But
I like the female rage movies. I hate A24. So somebody else make them, and I'll watch them.
That's like the greatest compromise.
Going back to my favorite. So yes, it's The Shining, but I feel like there's just an oversaturation. What, Sarah?
Kubrick Shining.
So that leads into the second thing. So the second thing for me is that if you're asking me which is more of a faithful adaptation, it's going to be the 2-part miniseries with the guy from Wings, because they nailed it, especially the ending. If you're asking me in terms of objective filmmaking, yes, clearly Kubrick is going to be the better one, but
no, I can do that. He's a good cinematographer.
Just like I'm getting oversaturated with Stephen King, I think I'm done with watching Kubrick films over and over. Everybody already knows I fucking hate Clockwork Orange. I've tried to watch this movie a dozen times. I don't like it. I do not like it. I never will. It doesn't matter how many times I watch it. Like, I get the time and place, but I feel like we've gone way past that now, and I'm tired of it. But I went and I watched The Shining again last night because it is one of my favorite King books, film adaptation, overall film. Like, it's, again, The Shining is always on there, but I'm just like, maybe it's because I'm getting old and tired, but I'm just getting exhausted. Like, Kubrick's films are just a mental exhaustion because you've got these scenes that are just so hard, and then you have perfection in every scene. You have camera, you have sound, you have everything, and everybody's like, well, this is what you want, John. You should want this. But when you watch this shit your whole life, like, I don't even watch 2001 anymore because it's such a fucking drag for me now. So like, I just feel like I've watched these films so much, and I've respected this man as a filmmaker. I still do, but I'm just tired of watching the films. And I mean, he's dead. He's not making more. There's only a finite amount of them. And look, I can watch the same movie constantly, but I'm just getting like exhausted with like Kubrick and like Stephen King and stuff. Like, it just feels like I'm ready for someone new to kind of break into this scene.
We know somebody.
Flanagan. Mike Flanagan.
Play again?
Flanagan. Mike Flanagan.
Oh, dude, you said that, and I immediately started thinking of, what was that? Did they sing that Mike Flanagan song in Cheaper by the Dozen?
No, you can tell we're married. Flanagan, actually, we'll be talking about him in a little bit because he actually has adapted some of the. Actually, he's adapted, I think, a total of 3 now Stephen King stories.
No, just Life of Chuck.
Yeah, so he's actually tied, and he's so far because one of the interesting things about Mike Flanagan, I guess we can kind of move on to that section because we could talk.
I butchered this whole section because we were probably supposed to talk about
this is a conversation. It's very conversational.
Mike
Flanagan.
Before you go into your thing, I'm stating for the record, The Shining movie is boring as shit.
Okay. And you like the
movie? Even though I'm getting tired of it, I disagree.
Nope. Boring.
Anyway, there's a lot happening there. No, listen, Sarah, this is what you do.
He's nagging on him while he's trying to read a book.
Stares out the fucking window. That's all he fucking does.
Maybe if his wife
he's possessed. What is he supposed to do when he's a ghost other than look out the window?
He can't do it possessed. There was
He's
no
got look,
build-up.
the ghost penetrated him the moment they walked into that hotel.
There was a deep penetration.
It was deep.
It was very deep. They came in at both sides, so
Yeah.
I would say it was a double.
I gave up my reading time for this.
I know you did. That's
Yeah.
what's great. Anyways,
Don't read books, Sarah. That's lame. Watch movies.
Fuck you.
My reading time. I love it.
He has reading.
I wish I could read. I don't have reading time.
It's okay. Jesse can't read either.
That's why I just get the Audible books. I can follow just fine, but reading, I suck. I can't.
I can't do it. Can't do it. So Gerald's Game was a movie that was considered unfilmable.
It's also a really shitty book.
But until Mike Flanagan made the movie, because basically it's about like this woman and this guy. They're like, oh, we're gonna see if we can rekindle the marriage and stuff like that. She gets handcuffed to the bed, and then all of a sudden he has a heart attack and dies.
I know who this guy is.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize the name. Yeah, I know who this guy is.
Yeah, this guy knows how to make a Stephen King. Yeah. Like this
was pretty decent. Ouija was okay.
No, Ouija Origin. He did the sequel.
Yeah. He did a VHS. I didn't know he did a VHS. Okay, yeah, I know who this guy is. Okay, yeah, I got you.
You should watch his shows on Netflix. They're really, really good.
Like, they're really slow burns, but they're really good.
What?
Haunting of Hill House.
Oh yeah, I see that here. Everybody raved about that. See, like that. One thing with me is when something's super popular, I tend to not watch it, and I let everybody watch it, and then I go back and watch it and act like it's brand new.
It's been like 7. It's been out for 7 fucking years.
You know what? I did that with other stuff, so I can agree. I'm with you, John.
No, dude, and this is what's gonna happen. When I start watching it, I'm gonna blow up social media. Everyone I know, I'm like, dude, have you guys watched The Haunting of Hill House from Mike Flanagan? Holy fuck, this shit is great. And everyone's
Facebook
hates
you fuck up the algorithm.
Yeah.
Like the algorithm's like, wait, what the hell's going on?
Right.
Why is it?
Right.
Why is it 2017 again here?
I did Fall the House of Usher too. Okay, yeah, totally.
That one's real good.
Yeah.
But anyways, another one of his adaptations that he did do. I better have it on here.
You have Dr. Sleep on
there. Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining, and this was one of the hardest movies I've ever seen done because he had to figure out a way to make a sequel to both the movie Kubrick made and the book that Stephen King wrote. And if you know, they both end very differently. And he somehow bridged them together poetically and beautifully into a very haunted story.
It's actually, I think it's almost better than the book. But
and Ewan McGregor is just really good because you watch him do something horrible at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like like spoiler alert, he lets a kid die.
Well, he lets a woman OD.
Yeah, like they're showing Danny. He plays Danny, the boy from The Shining, for those who don't know. And he's pretty much become his father, an alcoholic and this and that. And he hits rock bottom before he fights his way back up. And then the story starts. I don't want to give too much, but yeah, no, this one gets 2 watches in our house at least.
Yeah, and I will say Dr. Sleep, the book, and I'm going to keep bringing the books into this, but out of all of his more recent books, that's like the only good one.
Tell the scene that they took out of the movie, the scene where Abra, remember when she started screaming?
Oh.
This is those haunted things. So there's a little girl who has Danny's powers.
She has the Shining.
She got the Shining?
She got the Shining!
She has the Shining, and she's like maybe 2-3 months old, like an infant. A literal infant.
And this is in the novel.
And she starts screaming, crying in the middle of the night. Just the parents can't figure out what's wrong. They take her to the ER. They can't figure out what's wrong. And while they're in the hospital, it turns out to be like early in the morning, and it's the morning of September 11th. And when the first tower gets hit, she stops crying. So like she knew 9/11 was going to happen.
I don't know. That really turned. I don't like 9/11 shit and stuff. That kind of bothers me.
It's for like 10
You had me, and then
okay, well, it's not in the movie, so watch the fucking movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but actually,
that shit bothers me. Like that RPAT movie where the ending is just standing.
Oh, that's fucking dumb.
No, that's
fucking dumb.
Fuck.
That's fucking dumb. Dude, Dude, I was in theater seeing that because someone
You
drug
saw
me
that in
to it.
the theater, dude?
A girl I was on a date with took me.
Was
To
Oh,
it.
so it wasn't Sarah.
Not
was
Sarah.
not me.
And
Oh.
the girl started
Dodged the bullet,
laughing
Sarah.
at that scene because it was so preposterous. It was the weirdest scene
It's
ever.
fucking stupid.
It's so dumb.
Because it came out of nowhere.
It
had
came out of
nothing to do
nowhere.
with
Like,
anything. You're just like, wait, what? This is a 9/11 movie? What?
yeah,
And credits. You're like,
and
what
credits.
the
Like,
hell?
you just have to leave the theater with that. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Hold on one second. Doctor Sleep, the movie was much better. The viewing the second time around, 4 stars. Mike, did you see the director's cut or the regular's cut? The director's cut.
The director's cut is much, much, much better.
It's a rare case where it is better.
Yeah, it's the storylines are like fully explained a little bit more. We haven't seen the theatrical cut since it came out in theaters.
Yeah, we haven't.
Because once the Blu-ray came out, it had the director's cut. We were like, okay.
Oh, I think he said regular's cut.
Yeah, watch the director's cut. You can rent it on Amazon for like $5.
You'll want to buy it. Trust me, you'll want to buy it.
Like, okay,
It's
the
so good.
stuff that Rebecca Ferguson's character does, she does even more.
Oh my god.
You get more Rebecca Ferguson.
Rose the Hat is like
so fucking good.
very good villain. Very good.
So
villain.
good.
All right. Well,
I'm reading the synopsis, and other than the 9/11 thing, which completely turned me off.
The 9/11
It's
isn't
not in
in
the
the
movie.
movie.
It's
It's
not
I
in the
know.
movie.
But
I'm interested. I'm interested.
you just watch it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
Thank
watch
you.
it.
I'll watch
All
it.
right. All right. We're right now we're halfway into the show, so let's talk about some interesting ones. So let's talk about some of the bad adaptations of Stephen King.
The new Pet Cemetery. Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
It turned into a
Dude,
zombie
it's
movie.
just as bad as that damn Bloodlines movie that you guys somehow thought
We watched that.
ass, dude. It was
No,
they
it
made
wasn't
a movie
ass.
about something that was told in exposition perfectly that did not need a 2-hour movie to tell with
Sure.
horrible
When you say
acting,
it like that, it's hard to
horrible
argue.
camera angles.
But
Oh,
that
God,
one,
that thing
how
was
many
shit.
movies do we have like that? This one is at least good.
Like what? You mean they make a shitty movie after they make the good one? Like it's like 80% of movies. Conan versus Conan the Destroyer. Enough said.
I didn't see that.
Conan the Destroyer is ass compared to the
It is
regular
ass.
Conan.
Okay, but you like the Paranormal Activity movies. They essentially do the same thing.
I mean, 1 and 2 were good, and then 3 was just Hereditary, and then after that they jumped.
Wait.
No, how can 3 be Hereditary?
If
when it came
Hereditary
out
was 3,
first?
you gotta be consistent.
Welcome to my web of Halloweenness.
You have to be consistent. You can't say one is one and not the other.
I sure can. In some universe that coexist together, just one lump of shit. That's what they are.
And then
Fucking issues.
in the multiverse, Hereditary came out before Paranormal 3. Somewhere.
Because then I could watch it and be like, oh, this movie ripped off this. This is way better. But then the better movie ripped off the shittier movie, and I'm like, fuck them both.
Okay, so then since your main complaint with wait, no, I'm mixing up Midsummer into this. I'm not.
Oh, the Midsommar is way worse, man.
I
way
know it's worse.
Oh my god.
Ugh. That movie, god damn. We might as well just call it plagiarism, the movie.
Okay, back to
Got a guy in a bear suit. How is that? Like, why are you kidding me? Come on, man.
back to Stephen King.
They just call it plagiarism, the movie.
Retitle it, rebrand it, re-release it in theaters. Call it plagiarism.
The movie.
A movie.
Okay, I love how you guys get to have these little tangents, but I'm not allowed to shit on Terrifier.
Oh, you're right.
Terrifier, Sarah. That's why we're
All right,
saying.
all right, real quick. He's right. We show this movie. Sarah, you get uninterrupted 30 seconds to shit on Terrifier.
Give her the full minute. Let her
Give her
go.
a full minute. Full minute.
All right.
Hold on. Let me give her the card. Let me give her the card. Hold on. Sarah doesn't like Terrifier. Okay.
I fucking hate Terrifier.
Okay, there it goes.
All right.
Hold on. Let me get okay, now ready? You get 1 minute. See that? Go.
David Leone is the biggest fucking fluke that I've ever fucking met in my entire fucking life.
Yeah. 2 more seconds, she gets.
Okay. The man, first Terrifier, completely shit. There's no storyline. All Hallows Eve, the little fucking vignettes, no story. You just have Art the Clown bobbing around. This man, because Halloween Ends bombed so badly, got lucky, and that is why Terrifier 2 did as well as it did, because it came out directly after Halloween Ends, and when Halloween Ends
that's facts.
When Halloween Ends came out, everybody was like, this fucking sucks. It's close to the actual Halloween. I want to see a fucking horror movie. And you know what was out? Fucking Terrifier 2. That is the only reason why it did well. It's bloated. It's gross. The writing is shit, might I add. And also, you're sexualizing an underage character who's supposed to be like 16 or like 15.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, and you're seeing her take a fucking shower. And then also her popping up out of the pool thingy. No, that's gross and gratuitous. And now because he knows his shit is a fucking fluke, he had to come up with another gimmick for Terrifier 3, which is Christmas. But he doesn't even have the balls to release it in December. The fucker is like, oh, I'm just going to shove this into October and nobody's going to notice. Oh, but we're also going to kill this kid on screen, even though other horror movies have did it. But hey, we're the first one that's doing it. Come see our fucking movie. Oh, you're going to throw up and pass out in your seat. Done.
Okay, so I'm looking something up. Hold on one second.
Listen, when my wife hates something, she fucking
All
hates
right,
it.
so their claim about killing a kid on screen is absolute bullshit because one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Murder Set Pieces, did it in 2004. So
we just watched a movie where a kid was killed too.
It's pretty brutal.
Assault on Precinct 13.
Fucking It does it. That's the whole plot.
It does.
So, Sarah, I don't disagree with you with like quality of the film, but I think with Terrifier, like, here's the thing: if you were to put the Terrifier films next to The Shining, you're comparing apples and oranges because look, it's all art, right?
Okay.
But
to be fair, I'm comparing Terrifier to movies like Hatchet. They're very similar.
Okay, I'll get that. Okay, fair point. I'll concede to that. Next point of contention that you had said was that it was because Halloween ends, kills, whichever fucking one it was.
It was the ends. It was the worst one.
The worst one of them all, because I didn't think kills could be any worse. I partially agree with that. So more casual genre fan base, yes. But I actually think Terrifier has a really large embedded fan base. And it doesn't matter when or why or how the second one came out or what it was after or following or making up for. People were going to go see it regardless. Now, I agree with you that there's definitely a portion of people who did what you did. Halloween sucked. Time to go watch Terrifier. But Terrifier has a huge fan base. And
Let me refine it.
I don't think it was skewed that far.
Let me refine it. I'll bridge it real quick.
Bridge it.
Art became mainstream because
and that was a disservice to the franchise.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Like anything else that goes mainstream. So I 100% agree with that.
I think Art, like before that, yes, Art had the fan base, but not like he does now.
No, I agree. I'll agree with you there. And that overexposure, like I was talking about with Stephen King earlier, kind of can kill some of that feelings for people, like it has for me. So.
Yeah, because Terrifier 2 had a very, very limited release, but then it went straight to like Screambox or something.
Went to Screambox, but they extended the nationwide run. It got more theaters. It got a lot of traction.
What bothers me is Damien Leone thinks he's God's gift to horror, and he's really not that good. Let's have him.
I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna give this to like another minute because we have to get back to Stephen
I know.
King.
I just fucking.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize we're on a tangent. Good.
Yeah.
No, I think that Terrifier should really go up against like a highly anticipated horror movie and see how it does, instead of doing these fucking tactics and getting lucky on a fluke. Well, it's fucking stupid and it's gross.
Well, we'll have to see until then.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not giving this man money.
I'm probably gonna go see it.
You're sellout.
I know I am.
Fuck. I think John froze.
John, did you freeze?
Yeah, John froze.
John froze. All right. Well, anyways, while John's frozen, we're gonna jump to other movies real quickly that were truly really awful. The Children of the Corn sequels. I don't even consider that a Stephen King thing anymore now
because it's spiraled.
It spiraled into 11 movies.
It's 11?
It's 11 movies.
Oh, that fucking spiral. I don't like Children of the Corn.
Dude, Children of the Corn, first one was good.
Uh-huh.
Malachi. I love Malachi. I would watch the 6th movie because it was the return of Malachi.
Did we like the remake?
No, we did not.
We did not like
Groot was the villain from Guardians. Yeah, it was not good.
It was shitty.
Yeah, so, I mean, these movies definitely spun out of control. But let me ask you this, for somebody who reads books. What makes an adaptation bad? What good change? Where are good changes to a story versus bad changes to a story?
Hey, I'm back. I have no idea.
Hey, what's up?
I think here's the thing. I don't think Stephen King is an adaptable author because of the details in his book.
The what's the Ritual Chud, for example?
Yeah, you can't condense that into a 3-hour movie. It doesn't work. And obviously, we know it doesn't work. So, and I think what makes a bad adaptation is when they take one of his 1,000+ page book and they try to fit it into a 2-hour movie.
Yep, agreed.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, his stuff is very episodic from what I read. And I think one of the grand examples was 11/22/63.
Yeah. His stuff. See,
you've been trying to get me to watch that too, Jesse.
It's a good show.
It's one of those shows where I'm actually impressed with the time travel logic. It's pretty.
I need to watch it.
It's pretty tight. I've been sitting here for the last, I don't know, maybe 5 years trying to poke holes in it. Still holds.
Back to the.
Oh, challenge accepted, sir.
Go right ahead. I want you to find it for me. But let's keep going.
You know me in time travel, so yeah, I'm all about that.
Find it.
Back to the adaptations, I think you kind of have to split up Stephen King's older books and his newer stuff.
Agreed.
His newer stuff, I feel like he purposely writes so it can be adapted.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm just looking because all the hardbacks were in my library. All the hardbacks on my top Stephen King shelf are his newer stuff. Those are the ones that feel the most kind of formatted for a movie or TV, and most of those are either have been adapted into something or just confirm that something will be adapted. So that's the other thing. Stephen King's writing style, that's why I prefer his older books. I think they're better. I think they're more authentic because his newer stuff, even the short stories, he is writing it so it can be a movie or it can be a mini series or something. And I think that's where the oversaturation of Stephen King comes in. Because that makes sense. Yeah, if you look into his publishing patterns now, he's purposely publishing short stories. I think it's every 2 or 3 years. And now one of the characters that was in a mini series called The Outsiders, based on one of his books that did really well, he just wrote it into a solo book for Holly. And I think it's already being adapted. And honestly, when you think about it, that's a very minor character. And I feel like he just wrote it so then he could get another movie deal or TV deal or whatever.
At that point, why? This is a hypothetical question. I'm not seeking an actual objective answer, but it's if I agree with you. If he's doing that, then just fucking write some screenplays. Take a break from author publishing, write some fucking screenplays, get that shit shipped out, and then go back and write another book or something. Separate the two, you know?
But I think he's been so jaded by movie studios and production companies. Yeah. I think that's why he doesn't do it. And also, when you look back at the most recent adaptations of Stephen King stuff, it's so hit or miss that I honestly think if he wrote a screenplay and the movie bombed, I feel like he could not bounce back from it because he takes everything so fucking personal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
that's why I always say if you want to read Stephen King, just read Joe Hill because he didn't really sell out like that. I love Stephen King, but the man, I think, needs to fucking retire, but that's my opinion.
I don't know if I'd say retire, but it's just and here's the thing too, all of us, we are the consumer, we are the fan, we are taking their creation and enjoying that art and entertainment. So we're seeing it through the lens of how I or we or you want to be entertained based on this content that is objectively available for everybody to read. And then it's okay, we're going to take this a step further, and now this person who didn't write this is going to take this and put it into a visual arts presentation for not only new people to become fans of, but also the people who are already fans, because you have fans who are just read, fans who just watch the movies, and fans like us who consume both. So, you know, it's not that I don't think he should retire. I just think when anybody who is a creator of something that is consumed like art and entertainment, when they hit that where they're just bigger than life, where they're in that upper echelon, they're on that top favorite. I love Stephen King books. I love Stephen King movies. Shining's my favorite movie. Like, how many people do you know that say those things? So like, but there's not that many people who have achieved that level that he has. And I
agree with that. Yeah.
That's a problem with anyone who achieves what he's achieved. I don't think it's a Stephen King issue. I think this is just what happens to creators when they achieve this level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think honestly he's publishing books too quickly, because he's one of the authors that now every year, so for him it's like every like beginning of summer, a new book will come out. He's popping out books every single year, and
cranking them out, man.
Yeah,
God
damn. Patterson now.
He kind of is, and I feel like maybe if he slowed down and actually did like quality writing back, like his older books, it wouldn't be as annoying.
And then he can finally get back to directing and then release a sequel to Maximum Overdrive.
Oh my God.
Maximum Overdrive, pedal to the metal.
But he's got to be dipping in the blow again.
Like,
that's the only way that they can do Maximum Overdrive 2. That is the only way. And I don't think he's going to go back to that. He needs to go back to the well.
He needs to go back to the well.
He is an old man now. Like, he's not going back.
He can do it.
He's 90.
Okay,
yeah, he's not going back to the blow, man.
I don't care what anybody says. This movie released one of the best trailers of all time.
It did.
The best trailer. Like, I remember. Here's how good that trailer was. Everyone told me the movie was shit, but then Stephen King's like, "I'm gonna scare the hell out of you." I was like, "Well, I'm watching this." Because he has the coke eyes, and
and it wasn't like he didn't like scare the hell out of anybody. I think he was just scary because he was on the cocaine for a while. Everybody was like, "Holy shit, this guy writes great stories, and he's fucking scary to look at." I remember being a kid, like way before you guys were around, watching those commercials with him introing stuff and advertising stuff and trying to act creepy on purpose. And as a child during that 80s era, growing into a teenager, like I associated that with horror. Like, and I still to this day, if I see an image from that, it all comes back where I'm like, dude, I thought that's what that was. And I mean, clearly it wasn't, but when you're a kid, that's all you got, you know?
Also, can we just acknowledge how big of a like scaredy cat Stephen King is? Like,
oh yeah, this is actually really funny.
Whenever he's like, "Oh, that movie scared the shit out of me,"
and it's like The Little Mermaid, and you're like, "What, dude? Like,
what the? Were we watching the same movie?"
Yeah. I don't think we were.
Back when I was in high school, he did this like special with TCM talking about like horror movies that have influenced him. Every single time, that movie scared me so bad. And I was like, dude, it's not. No.
Well, right now I notice we have to wrap up because we're going to get to the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We have 6 more minutes left. So I got to do 2 things. First thing I want to do is I want to tell you three to do us three for one thing. Here's what I want you to do. Think of one good Stephen King movie you like, one bad one that you like, and then one weird one you like. And at the end of the show, we'll share ours. But until then, we're going to do some more trivia because I want to torture you guys.
I fucking hate trivia.
Yes, it's trivia time, baby. All right, real quick. In Christine, what was the model car that is possessed? In the comment section, I want to see you guys join me over here. And by the way, Michael agrees. It's an acid trip in theaters. Yes, it was. So, what in Christine, what model car is possessed?
Wasn't it a Plymouth?
Okay, you got Plymouth. Does anybody have the year?
Probably 50s?
It is a 50s car.
I don't know. I didn't like that book.
All right, it's a Plymouth Fury. All right, next one. Pet Cemetery takes place in what city? Derry, Ludlow, Salem's Lot, or Castle Rock?
Ludlow.
Yeah, because Castle Rock is what? I forget what it is. Anyways, continue.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's Ludlow. It's Ludlow. You're right. You're right. Okay. All right. So hold on. Let me pull some more of these up. Hold on. Where's that? Okay. All right. What Richard Bachman novel was adapted into an Arnold Schwarzenegger film?
Running Man.
Yeah, and they're about to remake it, and I think it's just going to be a disaster.
You think it's gonna be bad?
Yeah, it's going to be worse than Beetlejuice, and I haven't even seen Beetlejuice, and I already know it's bad.
Jeez. Oh, Michael Norris gave the number 57.
Nice.
Dude, Michael, you know you're Stephen King.
He does, man. He does. He really does.
All right, let me, Michael. I'm going to issue you a question right now. What Stephen King book was adapted so badly that Stephen King sued the studio to get his name removed and won? This movie is very. I don't even want to watch it because I've seen clips of it and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I could do this.
Are you Googling it, John?
No, I'm Googling something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see if we can figure that out. But anyways, before we get out of here, guys, I want to part with you guys some movies to watch. That's one of the things I always liked about listening to movie podcasts is that you get some movies to watch afterwards to have fun and enjoy. Hold on a second. I think Mike already Lawnmower Man. That's the answer.
Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man.
Was that a Coke book?
That was a Coke book.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anyways, so real quickly, what is one movie that you suggest everybody should watch with Stephen King? Which one's bad but fun to watch? And then what one is just weird? For me, one that I think everybody should watch that's really good, 1408. If anybody's not seen that movie, it's with John Cusack. It's a haunted hotel room. Basically, it's The Shining in a hotel room, and it is fantastic. See that movie. It is so good. One movie that's just so bad it's good, Thinner. A guy who curses a Romanian woman and has a curse put on him. It's like so outwardly offensive, but you're like, well, that was Stephen King for the time. That was Stephen King. That's who he was. And then Graveyard Shift. Just watching a bunch of blue-collar workers dealing with rats. It's a weird one, but you're like, screw it. I like that. Let's go that route. John, what are three movies for you?
Okay, so you need a bad one, right?
I need a bad one.
Yeah, Tommyknockers, definitely.
Do we have to be drugged like you?
Dude, I mean, watch it. Just go watch the fucking thing and then come back and be like, yeah, you were right.
The world doesn't want me to watch it. That's the problem.
You need to. I'm honestly about to watch it again now since it's been so long. So, then we need the weird or the one that maybe is like lesser known.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Dude, Apt Pupil, man, check that out.
I ever seen that one?
I didn't like the book.
You didn't like the book?
No.
Well, we'll watch that. I want to watch the movie because we can get a good movie out of that.
Yeah, that was surprising for me, and I think I was a late teenager, maybe early 20s when that came out. So, and then for my favorite, because it has now changed from The Shining, you guys, you're going to be really surprised because your entire life knowing me, it has been The Shining, right?
Yeah.
It's Misery, man. I have decided that I like the very confined, linear, claustrophobic, trapped story that Misery is, because it reminds me of one of my greatest fears in life. And one of my greatest fears in life is being trapped by a cult, or like imprisoned against my will, or like kidnapped, or like something like that. And going through his journey as I get older, I have found that I liked that story now a little bit better. So there you go. Oh, well, it looks like we have lost Jesse and Sarah. So hopefully everybody heard my. Oh, here they come.
Are you
Here they
there?
come. Yeah,
Are you there?
we're here. I got you. I can hear you.
Are your headphones attached?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Can you hear me though?
Here, John, you can't hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Can
You can hear it? Okay. We can't hear you for some reason.
Okay.
Anyways, what happened just now was our power like
Flickered out.
it flickered and killed the Wi-Fi.
Ah, okay. that makes
So
sense.
hold on, I'm gonna try this again, see if we can get back in so we can end the show properly. But I also want to know what movie you were about to say, because I felt like this was like the Sopranos series finale, where it like went out mid-sentence. And we were like, holy shit, now we're never gonna know what John said.
Yeah, but you can't hear me.
So hold on. We gotta get this router up. What's going on here?
Guys, this
Connected?
is great.
Yeah, connected. Okay.
Jesse right now. Man.
Hold on. We're gonna get on and we're gonna end this show properly. But anyways, real quickly before we reveal John's movie.
Why don't you turn your hotspot
But they already
Okay,
know.
hold on. I gotta turn my hotspot on. I'm sorry, everybody.
Jesse.
Okay. Michael Norris says it's the Stephen King curse. I totally agree with that.
It probably is.
Of course, it's Pimpy.
Oh, that's it.
Are you just?
We're trying to get on, but yeah, Michael Norris, you're absolutely right. It is the curse.
Password. They just gave you their Wi-Fi password. Make sure.
Do you see it? There it is. Okay.
Listen to them talking it through on setting up their Wi-Fi.
Anyways, like I said, thank you guys so much for holding on there. We'll be back in a second.
There we go.
Oh, we're getting back on now. Hold on, everybody. We're almost there. God damn it. God damn it. Hold on. We're back. We're back, guys. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, we're back.
Let's close it out before we have any other issues.
Yes. All right. So, anyways,
what was your movie?
Oh, everybody already heard it. Misery.
That's a good one. I fucking love that movie. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why you thought that we were going to be shocked.
Well, no, it's just like you'll see when you go back and watch the episode. What I was telling people is I don't know. I just feel like there's more of a connection there. Like I have a real fear about being captured or imprisoned or kidnapped by a cult or something. So just like the story of like being trapped there and then her abusing him because she's crazy, and the little side story of her like murdering people at the hospital. Like it's crazy stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I like it. And I've just, like I said, I've just started to drift a little bit away from The Shining, and I found that I'm just enjoying Misery a little bit more now. So
Misery is way out there. I mean, Kathy Bates, arguably one of the first, if not one of the first horror like actresses to win an Oscar for a horror role.
Yeah.
Because Hannibal Lecter, that one didn't come until what, 92, I think it was?
Maybe 91.
I thought it was late 90s for some
maybe
reason.
3.
It's 92.
Oh no, I was right. 91.
Oh, 91. So yeah, so definitely she gets the honor of that. So that's cool. But anyways, we got to wrap up. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. Thank you guys, Mike. You knew some facts about Stephen King. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out the extended cut of Dr. Sleep. Trust me, dude.
So good.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's so good. You don't even, like I said, you don't even need to see the regular version. Next week, our next show that I have listed is make a list to survive a horror movie. So we're gonna talk about that or Scream Queens. So we'll be in touch. Keep an eye out on At the Grown Ups Table. Like and subscribe to our page. Share our show. And we'll be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Until next time, I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
This is my partner in crime, the Brad of Pimpy. And you've been sitting at the grown-ups table. Thank you and have an awesome night, everybody. Take care, everyone.